What's going on, my beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. I am your boy, LeVar Robinson, and this is my brother T. Hutton, the motivator. And we're excited to go ahead and talk to you guys today about the importance of having a game plan. What's happening with you, T. Hutton? How you doing, brother?
Man, I am doing great. Going great. Game plan is working out great today. Got up early this morning, knew I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get accomplished today. Man, I'm building a shoe shelf, a shoe rack in my closet. Ran into a problem, realized that I had more shoes than I knew I had.
I'm not surprised. You always building something over there, man. Talk to me. Hey, real quick, go ahead and count up a couple things in the house that you built. Go ahead, jump on.
This wall behind me, this desk this computer is sitting on, the table to the right of me, half the stuff in front of me. I built a few things.
He's like, I got the house built, but I built everything else inside of it.
Man, we wired the whole house pretty much. Yeah, you got a point. But you know what? It's so funny you say that though. It's like I came into my house with a game plan.
Yeah.
That I was gonna want to change, although I had the house built. So just definitely to this today. I'm excited about it.
Definitely. This is really been something that has been on my heart a lot. I actually been thinking about it a lot, just because it's a lot of people that are out there that have goals, right? They have goals, they have dreams, they have ambitions, and a lot of them fail to put a game plan together. A lot of them fail to put a plan together. A lot of them fail to put a business plan together. Like it just failed to plan, right? You've heard the saying, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail, or you plan to fail, you fail to. Well, you get what I'm saying, okay? Right. And just, putting yourself in a position to win. So now, before we get into this thing, for everybody who's taking a look, for everybody who's watching, go ahead and make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you're liking, make sure that you're sharing this, right? We want as many people as possible to get this information because it's all about change. It's all about game planning. All right. So let's jump right into it. T. Hutton, the motivator. You tell me, man, why do you feel like it's important to game plan?
Well, I think initially the first thing you have to take in consideration is that without a plan, there's no steps. There's nothing to move forward on. There's no action points, no action items to move on. And without that plan, then how can you get to the finish line? Mm-hmm. It's like saying you want to run a race, but you didn't lace up your shoes. It's when you look back at it, considered one of the greatest college coaches of basketball would spend the first few practices teaching his athletes how to lace up their shoes properly in college, not in high school, in college.
Yeah.
John Wooden would take time to sit down with his athletes and make sure they knew how to lace up their shoes. Here's the reason. Because if you didn't plan, you plan to, if you didn't plan to succeed, you plan to fail. And what happened is, most of the athletes of that day left the game because of ankle injuries. Simply just lacing up their shoes properly gave him a better chance at success. So when you look at why is having a game plan so important, it's what puts you in position to be successful, no matter what it is. Whether you're game planning for your job, you're game planning for your career, and those are two different things, people. Whether you're game planning for your relationships, game planning for yourself, it's funny, LeVar, we talk about life coaching. I do life coaching, and I was just telling someone the other day why I was starting to do life coaching for couples. Mm-hmm. It's a different plan for you by yourself than it is with you with someone else. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure those plans actually work together.
Yeah, I love this particular topic because although so simple, it is so simple to not get right. I remember that I was actually putting a shelf together, right? I got the shelf. I was like, man, look, I said, I put myself on a timer. I always like doing stuff like this. I put myself on a timer. I said, I'm going to put this shelf together in like an hour, right? I'm going to put this shelf together in 30 minutes. I was like, all right, cool, right? So I set the timer and I start putting the shelf together. I'm putting the shelf together, and I'm putting in this work. I'm making good time, real good time. Man, I get about halfway finished and I realize, man, I'm missing some screws. Like, whoa, like where the screws at? So I then start looking through the box just to find out that the screws weren't even there. They had sold me this shelf with the wrong screws. My mind, it was missing a set of screws. So I'm blown. My mind is blown at this moment. But here is what I'm trying to get across. Now, had I took just time to plan, had I put a game plan together, said, all right, cool, let me go ahead and set everything out. I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. I would have found out that I didn't have those screws at that particular point, right? And then I wouldn't have hit this particular barrier. I wouldn't have hit this particular roadblock, which is what a lot of people don't do, T. Hutton. A lot of people don't say, all right, cool. Like for my example, in my business, they may want to hit a particular rank or a title or whatever it may be. All right. And you want to step back and say, all right, what does it look like for me to be able to hit that? All right, what do I need now? Let's game plan and put a full game plan together in order to make this thing happen. No, they just start running. And they start hitting into roadblocks. They start hitting a roadblock. Roadblock be hard. they be hard. But had they game plan, they would have saw those roadblocks coming before they even came.
It's funny when you say that about the roadblocks and they be hard, because oftentimes those roadblocks was already there, but you had your head down. If you was game planning, you'd have had your head up. You've been looking out in front of you. You'd have seen those roadblocks, those stumbling blocks. You'd have seen those, and you could have actually just maneuvered around them. Jump over them. You know, it's funny that, you know, oftentimes people trip over the smallest things. Like it could be the smallest thing and trip and fall and break your leg. Like you can trip over some of the smallest things is because you wasn't aware of it, because you wasn't planning. And just like it is in like the natural, when you're walking or running, it can be the same thing with whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are. If you're not planning to be successful at those dreams, you can easily find yourself stumbling and tripping over things. Like, I'll be honest with you. So here's a funny thing, LeVar. A lot of you not. I'm driving down the road, right? And I'm a careful driver. I'm that person that's gonna drive the speed limit. Sorry if you're behind me. I'm that. So I don't want no speeding ticket. I ain't in no rush for nothing. I left the house early because I planned. I left the house early so I didn't have to speed. But I'm gonna take my time driving, right? So I'm driving down the road. Everything is going great. I see a little blue hump in the road. Looks like one of those little reflectors. You know what I'm saying? I see it, but I see it at the last minute. Why? Be honest. I was a distracted driver at that point in life. Haven't been distracted since then. I'm gonna tell you why. Something I could have easily dodged had I been focused and paying attention, planning. I hit it. Not only did it bust my tire, but it cracked my rim. You know what kind of car I drive? That was instantly $1,000 gone because I was distracted. Sad to say it happens. It happens. Like, you know, that's how life is. Like, you can cost yourself something, and it may not be money. It can be time. It can be energy. It can be relationships. It can be a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? You could cause your business to fail because you didn't plan.
That's right. That's right, 100%. And a lot of people do that, you know, even if we're not just talking about business and like you said, in so many different areas of life in general, right? I was reading something the other day. I was trying to remember what it was that I was reading, but we have to understand that we are on different levels in different areas in our life, right? We've talked about this before. You have to personally develop in multiple areas of your life, not just one overall personally develop. No, you have to actually look and develop in multiple areas of your life, right? So that means you have to game plan in multiple areas of your life. What's up, Chad? Chad Porsche, what's up, man? How you doing? What's up? What's up? But you have to make sure that you're game planning in multiple areas of your life, right? If you're attempting to go after your goals in life, and that is in a particular direction, then you have to be game planning. But you also have a job that you want to get a promotion on, right? You got a game plan on how you're going to need to get that promotion, of what that's going to look like. What's up?
Matrix. You better pay attention to the matrix.
Right.
They tell you need to make $75,000. You trying to get a promotion and you only making $40,000. Guess who ain't getting a promotion?
guess who? Guess who ain't getting the promotion? And it's funny because some people may look at that weird, right, and be like, well, yeah, I got a game plan. Yeah, you got a game plan for every area, for every goal, for every possibility. You have to game plan. Yeah, that may seem like a lot, but I promise you, your pockets will thank you and your life will thank you.
But what if I'm just naturally that talented? I don't need a game plan, LeVar.
I don't believe in that, actually. I don't believe in that at all.
I just want to
actually, I believe the most talented people are the best at game planning, actually.
I agree with you. I just want to see what your response is going, because sometimes people feel that way. Like, man, you know what? I don't need a game plan.
I would say that if you're one of those people that don't feel like you have the game plan, eventually people that are not as talented as you will get further than where you are. Right? Talent can only go so far by itself.
I 110% agree with you, because oftentimes that's what you'll see. You'll have that young man in the gym that's shooting 100. You know what? I listened to a comedian one time. He says that his kids are two different kids. He says one goes outside to shoot 100 shots. The other one goes outside to make 100 shots.
There's a major difference in that.
There's a major difference in that. Because boy, let's be honest. If you're not good, you're gonna be out there a long time if you plan to make 100 shots.
Right.
On the flip side of things, when you get in the game, one kid is normally gonna perform better than the other. And the reason is the one that went out there to shoot 100 shots just went out there and threw the ball up 100 times. But the one that had to plan to actually perfect their form, when they get in the game, you're gonna see it come to life.
That's right. That's right. Well, when you game plan, it also gives you the ability to be realistic, right? It also gives you ability to have clarity on what specifically you're going to need to do to get done what you need to get done, right? When you just move at things last minute, or if you just move, you don't have time to even think about the obstacles that are going to come your way. You don't have time to think about how many shots you may even have to put up. See, because that kid that says I'm going out to make 100 shots, they already know that they're going to have to shoot well more than 100 shots to get it, right? But most people don't necessarily understand that, right? So you may have one person say, I'm just going to go out there and shoot 100 shots. Well, what if you shooting over the backboard?
You got to shoot over the backboard that you shoot that 100 shots and not hitting that. Hey, it's funny though. I'll go a step further with that, LeVar. The kid that goes out there and shoots 100 shots, okay, cool, great. You did a good job. You're doing better than those who just got going in there to shoot up 25, 50, 75 shots, even 99. You're doing better than most. But here's the problem. If you just put up those 100 shots, do you really know what's your sweet spot? Yeah, I hear him talking a lot of times when I'm watching basketball. I used to love watching Kevin Garnett play. And they will always say, don't let him get to his sweet point. If he gets to that sweet spot, son, it's over with. That's all day long. If he gets right on top of that free throw line, he can turn around, shoot that fade away 99% of the time. It's falling. And he knows that because he shot that shot. If you shoot enough shots, you realize what's your point. What's your lane in life? If you continue to try things, you might fail at a couple of things, LeVar. But if you keep going, you will figure out what's your sweet spot. What's your lane that you're supposed to be in life?
That's another story. That's also another story in itself. That's another training in itself. That's another show in itself. Because when you start thinking about what you just said, what you're doing is you're putting yourself on the limb to continue trying things and being okay with failing, just continue moving on certain things, right? And being able to see where you're good at and where you're not. See, most people don't move enough to even see where they're good at, right? It's like I tell people all the time, like, you got to know that thing that you love to do that kind of takes you out of reality for a second, right? My thing is music. I love singing. I love writing. I love everything, recording. I love everything about music in itself, right? Even working on a project right now, which is going to be absolutely dope. But I try to tell people that if you don't try enough, if you don't know what your thing is, you just got to start trying a bunch of things. You have to start trying tons of different things so that you can learn what that thing is for you, right? So now, with that being said, I'm about to tie this whole thing back into what we're talking about is, yeah, you may not know what that thing is, but if you start game planning, right, trying different things to see what may be for you, you may find out what that thing is for you.
Yeah, you're right. I was sitting here trying to figure out what that thing is for me, and I'm like, man, it's like a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. Like, you know what? I was sitting here thinking, and I'm like, man, poetry. I like spoken word. I like reading. I got all these different things that I like so much. Building stuff, of course, we just joked about that earlier. I love building things. But I think what I realized once I went through the list of things I enjoy, everything goes back to the same thing. It's about being creative. It's about self-expression. I think that really puts me in my element of self-expression. And that's why you always hear me tell people all the time, I don't need you to be the best T. Hutton motivator. I don't need you to be the best LeVar Robinson. I need you to be the best you possible. Because at the end of the day, it's about you being the best you. And what that looks like is you game planning to be the best you possible. What does it look like for you to be the best you? I know what I need for me to get better because I'm constantly bumping my head. So when I bump my head, I realize that didn't work. Time to go back and replan. Because when game planning don't mean you have one game plan for the rest of your life.
Right. That's true.
How many times before have you went back and replanned in life?
Oh man, tons. And I was just sitting here thinking about it. Game planning is so dope for so many different reasons, but one of the most amazing reasons is to allow you to stay on track. Yeah. It allows you to stay on track of what it is that you need to do for yourself, right? There's a lot of people out here that are not staying on track at all, right? And that's why we have to make sure that we're doing what a majority of people are not doing, and the majority of people are not putting a game together. T. Hutton, they're just not. Right. A lot of us may think that's the scenario, but let me be the first person to tell you that that's not the scenario. So now that we know that, we have to make sure that we do what we need to do to be different and do what we need to do to make sure we're game planning for the life that we want.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm sitting here thinking about us talking about game planning, then you said staying on track. In my head, it took me right to football. And the reason why I went to football is because I started thinking about it that, okay, you're talking about the NFL, you have 17 weeks, right? 16 games. So you got to have a different game plan, maybe 10, 12 of those weeks. Honestly, all 16, because just because you play a team with a game plan this week doesn't mean the challenge is going to be different next week.
That's right.
So as you game plan each week, you go into it with a new game plan. Also, you got players to get hurt, different things to come up. You have all kinds of situations. And in this last year, you had COVID. You had players testing positive with COVID. You didn't know who was going to be available for you. So you had to train everybody like they needed to be their best performance. And that's how it is in life. You don't know what's going to come up. So when you're planning, you got a game plan for every situation. You got a game plan each trial like it's a new one. You know what I'm saying? Anything you try new game plan. Do differently, new game plan. And one of my favorite things, and I give it back to you, LeVar, is because I've seen her smiling because I'm thinking about, I love watching football with my college friends, right? I'm an Alabama fan, roll tide every day, all day. Roll tide, roll.
Of course.
But the funny thing is this, I always joke with everybody. I say, man, it's cool because y'all got a really good team, but y'all ain't got a better coach. And my coaching game plan for the inevitable. And even if things go wrong, when he go in at halftime, when we come back out, we have a total new game plan. Because sometimes, like Mike Tyson said, you might have a plan until you get hit in your mouth.
That's right. Everybody got a plan until you get in your mouth.
Hey, but you got to replan. And that's
right.
What I'm trying to get people to get. You know what I'm saying, LeVar? Like, tell them, you got to replan, because you're going to get hit in the mouth. Life happens.
Life happens. I mean, there's no way of getting around. There's no way of getting around life happening. But, I want to say that not only do we want to focus on having a game plan and making sure we put that game plan together, that's just part of it. Now we got to execute that game plan, right? So, we just talked for 20 minutes a game plan and making sure you have a plan and understand the importance of that, right? But now we got to understand the importance of executing that game plan, right? Executing that game plan every single time, executing that game plan. So now we're running into a scenario, T. Hutton, where you have a lot of people who will come up with a game plan and then they don't even execute the game plan itself, right? Which actually creates a ton of problems in itself psychologically.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you're reinforcing that you don't have what it takes to be able to execute a game plan. So now you get to a particular point of why make a game plan. Yeah. Have you ever seen people do that?
Man, I see people do it all the time. Like, man, you know, I plan, but I never do it. So I don't even know why I'm wasting the time planning. I don't even know why. You know what? I was figuring out what I need to do to lose weight, man. You know what? No. I was gonna eat healthy. So I said to myself, let me start food prepping. I was like, well, dang, what I need to do to food prep. So I did all the different things to food prep, but then I didn't feel like cooking. So I don't even know why I wasted time food prepping. I don't even know.
Do you think the subconscious plays a big role?
Oh, yeah.
After a while?
It plays a major role because subconscious says, like, the worst thing. Boy, let me tell you something. Worst thing your subconscious can tell you is that you can do it tomorrow.
Wait.
Hey, buddy, when you said it, it touched me. I needed to say it out loud. Then your subconscious can tell you that you can do it tomorrow.
No. I had to go do this because it's so crazy that you just said that. Because I put a post up today. I said, you become so good at convincing yourself that you can wait until tomorrow, but then getting to tomorrow feeling defeated because you didn't do it today.
Well, that's it. That's literally it. Like that. Tomorrow, man. Tomorrow is a phantom, bro. It doesn't exist. Like if you live your life like tomorrow is going to be guaranteed to you, then guess what? You're going to fail every day.
Every day, every time. It's so important.
Today that you can don't put off nothing for today for tomorrow. If you can do it today, do it today. Why not?
Yeah, do it today. Do it today. I mean, one of the things that I would definitely say on a daily basis, if time permits, is to come up with a game plan for the next day.
Yeah.
Right. That's something that's really, really big that anyone that's listening can utilize to immediately make their life, put their life more organized, make it more organized. Right. And get more done. You immediately start getting more stuff done. Right. And then prioritize what it is that you have to do. What are you smiling about, man? Talk to me.
Because I wanted to cut you off and be like, shut up. Don't say if.
That's right. No if.
Ain't no if time permits. You make it permit. This is it. You want to be more successful tomorrow. You want today to make the plan for tomorrow.
This is
then midway through tomorrow during the day, you replan and then continue to move forward. And at the end of the day, you plan for the next day.
Well, I gotta say this because when I say if, I'm speaking from a standpoint of some stuff was happening and you did not have the time. It's possible, right? But a majority of the time, you want to make sure if in no way possible do you want to allow yourself to have the time and you're not.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Can I be facetious for a second?
Go ahead. That's why we do this.
If you don't have the time, do that mean you just kind of roll over to the next day? Because I'm just trying to figure out at what point. Because if you went to sleep for more than 10 minutes before midnight, you had time.
And you know what? Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
You got some late days to roll over 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. So I ain't saying that, but I'm saying if you close the mouth, you had time.
We're gonna stay there. We're gonna stay there. But I definitely will say this. I agree. I agree that it's super important that we do everything we can to make sure that we're putting that schedule together for the next day, putting that schedule together for the next week, putting that schedule together for the next month. We got to make sure that we're doing that. Not enough people are doing that.
Yeah. And like you said, once you get that plan, execute, execute, execute. And then guess what? Replan and execute some more. Because like we said, life is going to happen. You're going to have those things come up. Maybe you don't have time to plan right in the middle of your day. Maybe you can't do it at noon. Do it at 1. Do it at 2. But plan and do it, you know what I'm saying? And then each day you plan, get better at planning. You see what your life looks like. It's not like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not there. I tell everybody, guess who's at the front row of your life? At the premiere of every moment in your life, guess who's at the premiere? You see every event, whether they're goods or bads, highs or lows, or none. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a real boring movie if you let it be that way. But if you don't plan to make that movie interesting, your life interesting, then guess what? You can't be mad if you fall asleep during the middle of your own life.
Did you hear what he just said? You can't be mad if you fall asleep in the middle of your own life. Oh my goodness. We got to make sure that we plan it. We got to make sure that, and that's a lot of sleepwalkers actually.
We should do that show later. That's a now.
Write it down. I'm writing it down too. Listen, there's a lot of sleepwalkers that are running around here sleeping in their own life, sleeping on their own life, not putting their plan together. I'll tell you, I'll actually go to say that the better you get at planning, the more excited you get at life, the less sleep you got to have.
Facts. Hey, you be so excited to get up and do the stuff you already got planned that you don't even dread getting out the bed. You be like, man, let me be honest with you, bro. I've been getting up around 7 o'clock. I get about 7, eat, Today I knew everything I had planned today. I was gonna build this shoe shelf and everything like that. I was up at 6 o'clock. I ate at 6:15 this morning, not 7:15. I was up ready to go. I woke up, no alarm clock. My day is going. Like I woke up with myself like, let's go, get it. I'm like excited.
You're excited. Put in that work.
Man, the plan works when you get, you know what I'm saying, you plan, the excitement comes on its own, on the natural. It's there. Right. And I'll tell you this, man, Abraham Lincoln said, that if you give him 6 hours to cut down a tree, he's going to spend the first 4 hours sharpening his axe. So what that means is that he's planning on what to do. It's not because he's that strong. It's that if you plan, I got a shirt I had made, LeVar, that says every lumberjack knows the more precise your cut, the faster the tree falls. If you're planning, then you got a more precise cut. The more
what the precise cut look like.
Go.
No, I was just agreeing with you. You know what the precise cut look like.
Oh yeah. You definitely got to know what the precise cut look like. And that's the thing. A lot of us are out here calling ourselves surgeons in our life, and we're out here hacking away like, you know what I'm saying, like lumberjacks. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being a lumberjack and being a surgeon. Between a regular surgeon and a neurosurgeon. So,
well, I'll tell you like this, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Talk about that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm gonna tell you like this, and then I'm gonna give it to you to close. We definitely have to understand the significance of that plan. We have to understand the significance of our responsibility. We have to understand that we have to incorporate plans in every area of our life, game planning in every area of our life. And why it's so important, right? Because you having that plan automatically will make you more focused than the next person, right? And that focus is something that's going to build something special in your own entire life. So make sure that you're game planning so that you know what the next steps are in your life and what you need to do. The reason why that lumberjack understood that precise cut, or they said that precise cut will allow you to cut that tree down faster, is because they planned everything to make it important enough to get that tree down fast. They put that plan together. Abraham Lincoln understood, hey, look, if I sharpen this axe, it's going to give me the best tool possible to cut that tree down, right? And that's why it's important for you in your own life to make sure you put in that game plan together so that you can execute that game plan and get what you want faster. Make it happen. See, I can go ahead and close this out.
Look, you got to have a game plan. Today's show's about a game plan. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to create a game plan for today, for tomorrow, for this month, next year, the next decade. Create a game plan for your life. And as you create that game plan for your life, share the game plan with your friends so they can hold you accountable, because there's nothing like having a plan more so than having a plan and executing the plan itself. A quote says that the plan to fix the roof is while the sun is shining. Right now, your sun is shining. Don't wait to plan to fix the roof. Fix the roof now while the sun is out. Prepare now. You have the time to do it. If you want to be successful at life, it's your turn to make that plan for yourself. The time is now. Just make it happen, people. And as always, make sure you go over to growlivedream.com. Join the community. We are here to help you get better at life. We give back for free. This is not something we charge for. If you want to reach out to us individually for coaching or mentoring, anything like that, business opportunities, we are here to help you have the best life possible. So go join the group, share, like, and love. We're now on YouTube, so definitely share the link. They don't even have to be on Facebook to join the community. And we will see you soon. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a great day.
Have a great day, y'all.